Do you know aware of this heinous crime called rape? For those who are clueless about this topic, rape is defined as an act of performing sexual assault, usually involving sexual intercourse without others' consent. Nowadays, this serious crime has been surging rapidly. The number of cases and its victims has been spiked up at alarming rate. Do you know that rape victims have been left with scars on their physical to emotional being? But before I can delve into this topic, allow me to introduce myself. Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Najiha Safia Binti Zanal Abdin, and I am one of the representatives from MBA 118-3A. Today, I want to enlighten my esteemed audience about the effects of rape physically, mentally, and emotionally towards society. Hence, to start with, let's take a look at the physical effects of rape towards society. Among the most detrimental physical effects is unwanted pregnancies. Of course, the most immediate physical effects of rape is the risk for the victims of getting pregnant. Since the majority of the victims are women who has come of age, the possibility of them conceiving a child is really high, regardless or not they are merely a teenager who just reached puberty or an elderly woman nearing her menopause. Sound harsh, but we cannot deny reality. In most cases, rape victims who become pregnant tend to resort to abortion, unconsciously blaming the child for their misfortune. Bear in mind that in some cases, the situation is further complicated when the victim is just a teenager and it can affect the body once abortion happens. Not only that, there is also the risk of victim being diagnosed with certain diseases. In most cases, I do not really think that the rapist has clean health status, once again putting the victim at a very high risk of acquiring sexually transmitted disease such as HIV and syphilis. Another physical effect of rape that should not be taken lightly is damage of body organs. Since rape is a forced intercourse, the victim's body usually suffers injuries at vagina, uterus, and other organs. In addition, victims often beaten up during or after being raped. To think that humans can cause this are so heartbreaking. Moving on, knowing the mental effect of rape towards its victims appalled me, wondering just how broken and devastated these victims have been. The undeniable mental effect of rape is, to no one's surprise, is PTSD, in which they experience intense flashbacks of the abuse. They will be stuck in certain flashbacks and can cause them to lose track of their surroundings. They will slowly become detached from reality and cannot help but replaying certain scenes repeatedly in their head, blaming themselves for their tragedy. And what with society today with victim blaming, it only makes matters worse. This can cause low self-esteem that stems from anxiety. Anxiety is truly a depressing issue that should be given spotlight, especially towards rape victims. Victims may fear the attack could happen again, and they slowly find comfort in closed spaces, refusing to come out and mingle with people, in fear they will face the experience again. Some even experience panic attacks, develop social anxiety, and scared to leave their comfort space. In some cases, victims develop chronic fear to the people who may be similar to their assaulter. For instance, if the rapist is male and brunette, the victim may mistake with those who have similar features, and it may trigger their attacks. Another mental effects are depression. I am sure many people treat depression as a common occurrence, since most of us have experienced having them. But it is crucial to acknowledge this matter, since depression is one of the effects the victims have to undergo. Depression creates feelings of despair and helplessness. It reduces one's self-worth, making them believe that all the lies that being fed to them. Depression is no joke, and I hope more people can take it seriously. Last but not least, let us dive into the emotional effects it has. One of the emotional effects is being neglected by society. In some places, the crime itself is not prioritized and the community response will often be negative. Rape victims are often considered as an outcast or tainted and often being left alone to deal with their own. It is crucial for rape victims to find comfort in order to ground themselves. But did society treat them the way they should be treated? Sadly, no. People often blame the victims for sending out unwanted signals. Victims are often labeled as tainted and a laughingstock, causing them to keep their problems to themselves. This can cause major emotional upheaval, as it is undeniable that rape victims also include men. We need to acknowledge the impacts to male victims. It is reported that men experience long-term crises with their masculinity. They feel powerless because they believe they lost their pride and dignity. Not only that, 90% of male victims has been reported to lose their self-worth and self-respect due to their assault. To sum up, rape can cause harm physically, mentally, and emotionally to its victims. It is not like some wound where you can just slap a band-aid over it and call it a day. The traumas that have been subjected to their beings may run deep and can haunt them forever. Unfortunately, many cannot handle the traumas and end up committing suicide. People need to realize the harmful effects rape can have on all of us. I hope with this bit of knowledge that I have shared with you today, people will take this matter more seriously from now on. That is all for me today. Thank you.